Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Carol and today we are launching a new series called Chats with MC, where I'll be just discussing all things relating to adulthood. And we start the series with a topic that a lot of you guys have been asking me to talk about for a very long time. That is dating. But then also I didn't just want to make it about me giving you guys all the tea on my life and it's of no value to you. So I have structured it in such a way that my younger audience or even like people my age draw lessons from the mistakes that I personally have made. Because listen, you cannot live long enough to make all the mistakes by yourself. Sometimes learn from people like me that are willing to share, like, oh hey, I did things this way and it didn't turn out really great for me. No one taught me anything about men, about relationships. I've had to learn as I go. And in as much as we are going to be laughing and kicking and ha-haing about some of the things that I've done, I can assure you, like, at the time when I was learning these lessons, it wasn't so funny. I did enter the dating scene with a lot of naivety. I grew up very sheltered. My daddy calls me princess and he has irreversibly spoiled me growing up. So yeah, I just got into the dating scene expecting, everyone to have the best of intentions. And I just expected everyone to be treating me like the princess that my dad made me believe that I am. And that didn't go so well. And yeah, without wasting so much time, let's get into the lessons. First point is, I'm a Christian girl. I believe in God. I've always identified as a Christian. So if this is not your context, you can just skip to the timer on the screen and I'll just have a little chat with my Christian girlies and boys. I honestly believe you can draw from these lessons regardless of gender, but I'm just gonna assume it's mostly us girls here. Okay. The first mistake was not consulting God, not seeking the mind of God regarding my relationships. And even when he did reveal to me certain things, I was just a coconut head about it and I did not listen. And it's safe to say that did not end so well. I honestly feel like if I had gotten this part correct, I wouldn't have been in a position to be learning any of the other painful lessons that I had to later learn in life. I'm now at a position where I'm like, okay, fine, God, whatever you say, I will listen. So the number one reason why this was very problematic for me was because I was deciding if I wanted to be in a relationship with this person or if I saw them as a future spouse. I was basing that decision based off what that person has shown me. Now I'm just going to assume that at least a good amount of us know that people can be very deceitful, right? So the only way that I could have really protected myself from that in hindsight would have been through spiritual discernment, because while I look at all the lovely things that this person is doing for me and it looks good, it's appealing, God would have then looked at their hearts and told me oh, you might not want to, explore that connection. For me personally, it was a combination of not really seeking the mind of God concerning people. And even when he just willingly volunteered the information, I wouldn't listen because, let's be honest, a lot of the times the things that are not good for us, they do not come wrapped around, with the devil horns and the red face. They come wrapped up as everything that you want, and you're like, no, there's no way that God doesn't want me to have this. This is a good thing. And you convince yourself that it is all in your mind. I have a lot of occasions, you guys, when God has told me sweetheart, you may not want to explore that connection, and I'll just be like, no, that's just my mind. It can't be God. Why would God not want me to be with this person? Because like I said, they look good. Everything looks good from the outside. This actually happened to me a few months ago. I met a guy, and obviously when we met, a relationship was not in the picture. So it was just a thing of okay, fine, I know this person exists and they know I exist. But I will say that I was very drawn to this person. Literally almost everything about them was just wow, this would be but that was just me and my thoughts, right? And He looked very good, and I don't know about you guys, but I do have a weak spot for a very tall gentleman. He was very tall. Everything just seemed good on the outside, right? So at this point, we're not even talking. We don't even talk like that. Remember, one of the days, like one of the ways that God speaks to me is through dreams. Like God does not joke with my dreams. Like a lot of the things that I dream about do end up coming to pass, right? So I had this dream. So you would think, like, if I'm really attracted and drawn to this person, if I'm gonna dream about them, you'd think, you know, like, oh, it's gonna be a good dream. So I had this really bad dream, and of course, like waking up, I had the understanding that this is not a really good person and I should stay away from them. Did I stay away? Did I stay away? No, I didn't, and I just dismissed it as just being a dream, even with the track record that I have of knowing that, hey, but you know, on the point A, B, C, D, you've dreamt this and it has happened exactly that way. I still went on to like dismiss it as being, no, it's just my mind, it's just fear or whatever. And when the person did come around to like the talking stages, the datings and all that stuff, it was just like, wow, I really liked this person. There's no way the person that I'm seeing can be this person that was, you know, revealed to me. And I was like, no, I'm just gonna forget that. A couple of months down the line, I did end up, you know, getting why I had gotten the dream that I had gotten in the first place. The thing about me, I will always go back to God. And like, if God was a man, he would have been so pissed off, like, but I told you. As soon as this person said hello to you, I told you and you didn't listen. But thankfully, God is merciful and he's not like that. Whenever God gives you a revelation about something, you may not want to ignore it. It'll save you so much heartbreak. The other reason why it may be problematic to be in relationships without the leading of the Holy Spirit, keeping our end goal in mind, marriage, is because a lot of the times when you pick a person, you're gonna choose someone who fits into your now, you know, and they may be a very good fit for that particular moment. But then, I mean, as humans, we're always constantly evolving, we're changing, we're growing, and the person that might fit into your life right now may not necessarily be able to fit into your future. So you want to think about that as well and just be like, oh, well, who better to consult than the God who knows the future? So I honestly just think that the God way would be the best way, because he is going to bring someone into your life that is going to create an environment where you can fully flourish into who God has created you to be. Then you're not at risk of picking someone who, of course, they fit perfectly into your life now, but later on in the future, they have become, you know, kind of a stumbling block, and now you can't do a lot of the things that you want to do, or you can't be the best version of yourself because this person is just, you know, standing in the way. I could sit here and talk all day about why I think consulting God and submitting to the leading of the Holy Spirit is important when it comes to relationship that we are hoping lead into marriage, but I have other things that I want to get into. My next lesson is, if he can do it to her, for you, who is to say he's not going to do the same to you for somebody else? I'm gonna assume you guys already know what I'm talking about. When someone comes to you, you know, proposing some kind of relationship, but this person is also tied to somebody else, honestly think that it's not something that you should take very lightly, because from the beginning, this person is showing you who they are, and that is, they have no respect, no regard for whoever they are with at that particular moment in time. And do you really want to be in a relationship with that kind of person, knowing that? I mean, I myself, like a lot of people, did make excuses for such behaviors, and as we have already established this far in the video, it did not end so well. Very early on, I pick up that, oh my god, this person is tied up to someone else. Yeah, we were on a date with this guy, and you know, his girlfriend or whatever calls visibly upset, you know, because I don't know, he had been ignoring her. Did I dead the relationship there? No. I didn't. If anything, I was laughing. And I must say, it wasn't very funny when I was now the girlfriend calling him upset because he had been ignoring me the whole day. I laugh. I have made so many mistakes. I've been a clown so many times. At least I got to learn from this. I'm like, oh yeah, if someone is tied to somebody and they're pursuing me, that's not a compliment. You know, like when you get to know people, you guys are talking, you're getting to know each other, liking is going to develop. Sometimes it so happens that you may like someone more than they like you, even though they may have been the one to approach you. It does happen. It is part of life. So the lesson that I learned here was, when you're with someone, you're talking, maybe you're already even in a relationship, right? It takes two people to make a relationship work. Both parties have to pull their weight. That's just my belief. So if you ever find yourself in a situation where it seems like you are now carrying the weight of the relationship and the other person is pretty much nonchalant and not doing anything in return, that is not a sign for you to do more. It's not a sign for you to do more. It's a sign for you to stop. Because if you have done all these things for them and it hasn't been enough for them to reciprocate, why do you think that doing more is going to move them to be reciprocating if they haven't already at this point? Like, I mean, now saying these things out loud because I've learned my lessons, it actually does seem pretty silly and stupid. I'm like, why would you even believe that? But yeah, at the time I was very convinced, like, okay, fine, if I just love this person more, if I do more, if I serve them more, then they're gonna love me back. No, if you're giving your best and they're not reciprocating, that's not a sign to do more. You need to stop. Otherwise, you're just putting yourself in a position to be used and to waste your time, and you are going to pretty much be displeased with yourself in the end, because then you'll be like, I gave you everything, and it's just like, well, who asked you? I'm not saying don't put effort in the relationship. I'm not saying, don't do anything for your man, but I'm just saying, just make sure that whatever you do, you're getting the same energy back. You cannot carry the weight of a relationship alone, and you most definitely cannot love someone more into loving you back. Because I mean, they're already showing you that I'm not interested, at least not interested enough to be putting any effort into this relationship. So why are you making excuses for that behavior? I mean, I know why, because for us women, we do make very questionable decisions and develop very questionable mindsets when we're in love. But yeah, sometimes you just have to train your mind to be stronger than your heart and just sometimes take things at face value. He's not doing anything because he doesn't want to. He's not carrying his weight because he doesn't want to. Next lesson, I wouldn't really say that I have been a victim of this, because I don't know why, but I'm lucky enough to not really succumb to any pressures that come from social media or people or things like that. But I have seen this happening to other people, and I'm just like, maybe I should just throw it in there. That is to not let Instagram, strangers, the internet define for you what a perfect relationship is, tell you what standards you should have, tell you what boundaries you should have. I mean, that is very dangerous, And if we're being honest, most of the people are not even walking the talk that they're talking about. And I think it's just important to really know yourself and just be like, what is it that I need as a person? And if you feel like that is what you need, and if you feel like that is what is enough for you, don't let anyone else tell you otherwise. You know what your standards are, know your boundaries, know your preferences, and really just be firm in those and try not to let the outside noise dictate for you what is acceptable and what is not acceptable, if that makes any sense. A lot of people are not gonna like this, but my next lesson is sometimes you're the problem. I was 27 years old and I started to take accountability of like my own shortcomings, my flaws, and my part in certain things. For the most part of my life, it was like, oh no, he's the trash, he's the scumbag. And I was just like, but What about you, girl? It is important to have, you know, self-introspection. Look at, okay, fine, I think I need to work on this. I think I need to work on that. And you will realize that your relationships become more fulfilling, because yes, it is nice to have someone do these things for you, be this great person for you, but then at the end of the day, are you being a good person to them? Are you also serving them? Like I mentioned earlier, relationships are a two-way street. You know, we all need to be pulling in our effort. And I will definitely sit here and say, yeah, like there were times I was just like, it's exhausting. You know, if someone actually likes you, that is very exhausting. You know, they will want some form of reciprocity. Yeah, sometimes you're the problem, you know, just putting it out there. Fine, guys, I'm gonna get into my last point. I have learned so many lessons in dating. I could not possibly like sum them up in one small video, but I honestly think that the ones that I've shared with you are the ones that I personally have viewed to be, I don't know, important. I might have a part 2 to this, who knows, because there's so much I can share, but I just feel like these were like the top. So my next and final point, oh my god, why do I feel like I'm going to lose subscribers because of this? I wasn't told a lot of things about relationships and dating, but there was one thing that I was told, that I was not supposed to have sex, because if I had sex, I'd get pregnant at a young age and it would derail my future, you know, and that type of thing. Have sex, you know, the person is not going to value you, whatnot. But I honestly feel like that was not enough education for me to really understand why I had to be careful around that area. So my I submit to your consideration, from one Christian girl to another, the real reason why sex before marriage may not be best for you. I have 2 words for this. Soul ties. Is that 2 words or 1 word? I don't know. It's unfortunate that, you know, we live in a generation that has trivialized the power of sex and its implications. Now it's just, oh no, it's not that deep. I'm just gonna hook up, no strings attached. There is no such thing as no strings attached in sex. That's a lie. I'm not trying to scare you guys. I am really not trying to scare you. I am just trying to tell you the truth. Whenever you indulge in such intimate acts with somebody, you are joining yourself to that person physically, emotionally, and spiritually. All 3. Like, you can't pick and choose. Like, it all happens together. If you're spiritually tied to someone, that means whatever their issues are, whatever they're fighting, it becomes your issues. Whatever demons they're fighting, now you're gonna have to fight your demons plus theirs, because you chose to come together and be one with that person. If you're having it outside of marriage, how many people are you then going to be binding yourself spiritually, emotionally, and physically with? How many times have you been a happy-go-lucky person? You've been good, your life is good, you're happy, everything is cruising, and then you lay with someone and all of a sudden you're depressed. Now you're just sad. You don't even know where it came from, but you just know that you're sad. And you really want to believe that it's not that deep. It is that deep, you guys. It is that deep. And yeah, that's just an area where you need to navigate very carefully and with caution. Okay? Take it from your big sis. Let me know if you want a part 2 to this thing. I will definitely give it to you, because I mean, there is so many lessons that I've learned in the dating scene. However, I was thinking of giving you guys in the next video my breakup formula, how to get over him guide. Let me know if that's something that you'd be interested in, and I'll definitely work on that. Or if you just rather have a part 2 of this. But that is it from me, you guys. I do hope that, you know, you enjoyed this video, but more importantly, I do hope that you've managed to learn a thing or 2 from me. I will catch you in my next video. Bye.